The moment I was selling guns up in the mountains, I knew something was wrong. The buyer assembled the weapon 3 seconds faster than I did, and I used to be an agent. Even after I deliberately shifted the scope 5 centimeters before the test, he still hit the bullseye from dozens of meters away. And that's when I knew for sure I was dealing with a professional assassin. Just days earlier, I had asked the organization to let me retire, yet they assigned me this final job, and I instantly understood their real intention. Then the buyer suddenly handed the gun back to me and asked me to walk some distance away and fire toward him to test the suppressor. Standing dozens of meters back, I could have eliminated this threat with a single shot, but I didn't. Instead, I followed his instructions and fired beside him, because at that moment, I had already come up with a better plan. Satisfied with the weapon's performance, he pulled out a thick bundle of cash, but I refused to hand over the gun and told him to wait 3 more days, claiming I needed to improve it. He didn't suspect a thing and agreed to the deal. On my way home, I deliberately pulled over, stepped out, and kicked my bumper loose, giving myself an excuse to take the car into a repair shop, because that place had exactly what I needed next. At the shop, I posed as an ordinary customer, and while the mechanic wasn't paying attention, quietly took a steel pipe and some gears, slipping them into my backpack. Back home, I dismantled the parts, reshaped them carefully, cut the pipe into countless small sections, stacked them together, and covered them with a prepared shell. Just like that, a sniper suppressor was born. The next day, I tested it in the wild, then moved on to building the gun itself. I visited the local black market, bought the necessary components from a dealer, and assembled the weapon with practiced precision until it looked no different from any ordinary firearm. But there was still one crucial step left before delivery. I ground the bullet's tip flat, drilled a tiny hole into it, put on rubber gloves, and carefully injected mercury inside. That way, even if the shot didn't hit a vital spot, the mercury would finish the job. 3 days later, I arrived at the meeting point, only for the buyer to insist on checking the weapon in the restroom first, which instantly put me on edge. Fortunately, he noticed nothing unusual, paid the remaining balance, and drove away. I thought I had simply overreacted, unaware that on his drive back, a mysterious phone call had already reached him. I realized it was no longer safe to stay and planned to leave the city with my girlfriend, not knowing that at that very moment, a sniper scope was already locked onto my head. The person pulling the trigger was the same female assassin I had just traded with, and with the mission only 1 step away from completion, she didn't hesitate as she prepared to fire right at that exact moment.